Hello, today we're going to be doing a collage inspired by Beautiful Blackbird by Ashley Bryan. Before we get started, I would like to show you some of the pictures. What I like about his books is that Ashley Bryan cuts out all the pieces by hand for his illustrations, and it's really amazing. He even uses his mother's scissors, which is pretty sweet. This is the page that we are going to be working on. I'm just going to be doing the blackbird, but you are welcome to add these other birds on the sides or even flying over him. So before we get started, I would like to show you the materials. That's a very important part. Remember. So, we are going to need a piece of paper to start out with to put everything on, scrap paper, old magazines, fabric, maybe fabric if you don't have black paper, well, to be cool, ribbon, yarn, maybe if you want to be really creative, some jewels for maybe to make you look fancy or for cool eyes, tape or glue in case you don't have glue, scissors, but just one of the most important thing is creativity.
Thank you, Sienna, for that introduction. So some examples you might want to see before we get started, so you know what you might be making, are going to be right here. So you can see we've pre-made these. One of them is made only using magazine pictures. So this one, you don't need a lot of fancy material. You don't need construction paper. You could just cut out pictures in magazines.
It doesn't even have to be something in the book. It can also be something made by your creativity. As long as it has blackbird in it, it's really pretty cool.
Here's a very traditional collage using colored paper and different words cut out from magazines. This was inspired by one of his pictures that also has a tree with different birds nesting in it, and at the center, the blackbird.
The blackbird is in almost every picture that he does.
This is a beautiful collage made by Sienna using a couple different materials.
Fabric and scrap paper.
And construction paper. So she blended a few different materials to make her collage. We couldn't find any black construction paper,
so you can always use fabric.
So we found some black fabric. If you don't have black fabric, you could always color some white paper black or use paint for the blackbird. And lastly, we wanted to show you a sample of art inspired by Ashley Bryan's collages, but that uses colored pencil or crayon. So if you don't have the materials needed, let's say you can't find glue or scissors or scrap paper, you can do your own drawing or coloring of different birds with the blackbird being in the picture. So we're starting with a colored sheet of paper. And we have some birds that we've pre-cut out for the bottom of the page in these nice pastel colors that Ashley Bryan likes to use. So those birds are going to be living at the bottom of the page. And Sienna is going to be placing them and gluing them at the bottom and kind of layering the birds a bit. So I'll show you in a moment how Ashley Bryan uses layers to create texture. So you can see in his book that some of the birds overlap. And it's really fun when you cut out your birds to overlap those pictures. So you can free cut the birds, or you can draw the design first on your construction paper and then cut them out. So these I free cut. Sienna's going to glue them onto the bottom of the page. So I'm going to help her with the glue, and then she's going to place them and do the gluing and placing. So she'll put them around the bottom of the page. These are going to be like singing birds at the bottom of the page, and we'll have Blackbird kind of at the top of the page with him singing, since Beautiful Blackbird is kind of the center of attention in this book. Good, so we're using a lot of glue here, but you could also use tape or a glue stick. Good, so I'm going to show you the page, and you can see we have a couple birds here. We're going to continue to layer the birds on the bottom of the page. Sienna will show you the different shapes before she places them down, so that you can see. So here we have a nice brown bird that's been cut out already, and she's going to place it on the page. It's important to remember that these illustrations are inspired by Ashley Bryan. They don't have to be exact copies, so even if you don't have the book, you can do your own collage based on what you've seen in real birds or in the sky, or wherever your imagination can take you.
As long as it has a blackbird in it, it's inspired by the Beautiful Blackbird, mostly.
So here we have a yellow bird, and we're going to continue to layer some of these shapes. So we have all different colors here. Sienna's going to cut out another bird shape to layer in out of green. So I'm going to give her a square of paper, and she's going to cut out her version of a bird so that we can keep layering it so that it gets that really nice textured look that Ashley Bryan gets. The different birds all kind of overlapping in different colors. Yep, so she'll keep going. We'll do the blackbird last, since he usually sits above or atop the other birds. You can see here that he's always in front of the picture.
In the section that the tension is.
Yep, he draws a lot of attention since he's so dark black. Okay.
Section of it.
So go ahead and cut out your version of a bird, and you know, bird can be pretty simple. Like, as you can see, this is just the top half of the bird. We've used the bottom of the page to kind of crop it off. This is a nice full bird, but birds are pretty simple as long as you have a pointy beak and the head and this kind of egg-shaped body. That's all you really need. You can get fancy and make feet or tails, or add excitement to the feathers with colored pencil or extra paper, but really it can be pretty simple, the shape. And Sienna's cutting out a beautiful picture of a green bird that we're going to use in just a moment. And while she's cutting out some of the colorful birds to go on the bottom of the page and underneath Blackbird, I'm going to start cutting out Blackbird out of black fabric. So she's cut out this beautiful green shape. She's now going to glue. And I'm going to be cutting out Blackbird out of some black fabric. We couldn't find any black construction paper, so this is what we have.
It's a little bit, it's pretty rare.
So
Center of attention is where the blackbird's going to be.
Yeah, and once again, if you are very exact with your art and you want to draw or sketch your birds out on your paper before you cut, you can feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Good, so look at this beautiful expressive green bird that Sienna's cut out. It's perfect. So we're going to keep layering. So she's gonna do maybe, let's throw in some nice light blue. That would make a very nice bird. Good, so you can see this beautiful bird she's starting to cut out. She's going to add in a beak at the end. And cutting out paper and birds can take time, so make sure you take your time. You know, you can always cut it out again if it doesn't turn out the way you'd like it. So she's going to glue on this nice light blue bird. Kind of placing most of the birds near the bottom and just kind of layering them. Even if you cover up some of the other birds, that's fine. It adds that nice element of kind of like a multi-dimensional picture. Good. So we've covered up some of the brown bird, but that's looking pretty beautiful. We have all different colors of birds kind of rising up, and they're going to greet the blackbird in the center. Should we add one more bird before the blackbird? What do you think, Sienna? Let's add one more bird. Maybe
a red bird.
A red bird. Okay. Beautiful. So here we have a gorgeous red bird with a lovely little beak. And he's going to go in the picture as well. When you have your glue, you want to make sure you spread the glue all the way to the edges so that the corners of the bird don't curl and turn up. You can always go back later. Like here you see the beak is starting to come up, so we might go back later and put a little dab of glue on to secure it. So she's going to place the red bird anywhere she'd like. We're just making layers. Good. So it looks beautiful going right over the yellow bird. Kind of makes the red bird stand out. Then we're going to start to think about adding the blackbird. So we have the blackbird's body. Sienna's got that cut out. We have that separate from the head, separate from the wings. So she's going to glue this body onto, other way, this is the tail, onto the paper. kind of towards the middle so we have room for the wings and the head and room for the rays of light coming out of the wings. Perfect. So the fabric is a little creased, but the glue will make it stick and lay nice and flat. Perfect. So we have the body of the blackbird. Now we're going to place the head of the blackbird here. So let's glue the rough side down so that we have a nice shiny blackbird. Good. She's going to place the head any which way she wants. Maybe out to the side a bit. Good. Perfect. So we have the head. Now we're going to add some wings. So here's one wing, and here's the other wing. And we kind of want the wings going out to the side so that we can make the rays shining out from underneath of them. Good. So here comes the first wing of the blackbird. Beautiful. And the second wing. So this blackbird is going to look like he's talking, just like in the book. His wings are kind of up, his beak's up. Great. It's okay if you cover up other birds. Just like in Ashley Bryan's book, he has lots of layers that make his paintings, his collages
His own
unique.
way. His own way.
Good. So now we have the blackbird in the middle and all the birds rising up at the bottom. I've pre-cut some of these strips so that you can see a little more quickly how it's going to look. We're going to make a rainbow of colors coming out from his wings here. And Sienna's going to glue those colors or rays coming down from his wings. There's one red color. And glue on the last one. There you go.
Maybe just one more somewhere, like there.
That's a good spot for it. Right there. All right. So we have this beautiful collage that Sienna and I have created together. And at the end, if you'd like to kind of give your collage a little bit of a frame, you can. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can make this page a little bit smaller
By cutting around the
by
outside.
cutting off a little bit on an angle, on an edge.
And you can pick another piece of paper that's full, depending on what color you border.
A red border. So this is going to give it kind of a finished feeling. So you're going to turn it over and place glue on the back of your original piece. Sienna will place the glue on the back of the piece. Good. And then you'll take it and center it in the middle
So that it's
of
like-
your red
So that you
paper.
can see red coming out from all sides of it.
Yep, so you have a little bit of red on the
As
border.
a border.
And that's going to give it a finished feeling and also make the paper a little bit thicker so that it dries.
Yep. So like
Wow.
if the glue's leaking through, it won't leak through mostly.
And it will protect the glue from leaking through. Perfect. So now you've seen some different ways you can make a collage inspired by Beautiful Blackbird. And I hope that you'll go and see the other video that we have of Ashley Bryan reading the book if you haven't already for more inspiration. Thank you, Sienna Rosso, for your help making this video. I hope you have fun making your collage. And remember that you can use anything you can find. You don't have to use paper, glue, use tape, yarn, paint, whatever you can get your hands on.
And remember, the most important thing is creativity.
Yes.